I'm 87 years old. I live alone in a 2-bedroom house. Have for 9 years since my husband died. I can tell you what I made for dinner last night. Chicken breast with green beans, same thing I make every Wednesday. I can tell you the names of my neighbors on both sides. I remember my daughter's phone number without looking at it. I know what day the trash goes out. People ask me all the time, Margaret, aren't you lonely? Don't you get scared living by yourself? Like living alone at my age is some kind of death sentence. It's not. But you have to know what you're doing. There's a difference between being alone and being lonely. Most people never figure that out. They think if nobody's in the house with them, they must be lonely. Wrong. So sit down, and I'll tell you the 7 rules I live by. Not things I read in a book, things I learned the hard way. Let me tell you why this matters to me. My sister Dorothy, 2 years younger than me, she also lived alone after her husband passed. But Dorothy sat in that house and waited for her kids to call, waited for neighbors to check in, waited for somebody to invite her somewhere. She lasted 3 years like that before they found her talking to herself in the grocery store, crying because nobody remembered her birthday. She's in assisted living now, says she wants to die. She's only 85. My friend Eleanor from church, same thing. Lived alone for 6 years. Never left the house except for groceries and doctor appointments. Started calling me 5 times a day just to hear a voice. Any voice. I watched both of them. They were lonely. And I decided that wasn't going to be me. I'm not a psychologist. I worked in the school cafeteria for 30 years. But I know what I've seen, and I know what works. Here's what I know. First, stop waiting for people to come to you. When Robert died, I waited for 8 months. I thought my kids would visit more. I thought my neighbors would check on me. I thought somebody would invite me places. Nobody did. Not because they don't care, because they're busy. They've got their own lives, their own problems, their own families. My daughter lives in Florida with 3 kids and a full-time job. My son's in California doing whatever he does with computers. They call once a week. That's it. And that's fine. But I was sitting in this house for 8 months feeling sorry for myself. Waiting. Then I stopped waiting. Now every Monday and Thursday I go to the senior center for lunch. Costs $4. I take the bus. I don't wait for somebody to drive me. Every Wednesday I volunteer at the library. I shelve books for 2 hours. Easy work. The rule is simple. If you want people around you, you have to go get them. Nobody's coming to save you from loneliness. Nobody. Second, talk to strangers. Your mother told you not to talk to strangers when you were 5. At 87, strangers might be your best friends. I talk to everybody now. The woman at the checkout counter, the man at the pharmacy, the person sitting next to me at the doctor's office. Last week I was getting my blood pressure checked. Woman next to me, maybe 80, waiting for the same thing. I said, these appointments always run late, don't they? We talked for 20 minutes about our medications, our doctors, our kids who never visit enough. I'll never see her again. But for 20 minutes I wasn't alone. You don't need best friends. You need regular human contact. Even 5 minutes counts. Dorothy, she wouldn't talk to strangers, said it wasn't proper. Now she sits in assisted living talking to nobody. Third, make a schedule and stick to it. This one's important. Listen carefully. When you live alone and you're retired, every day is the same. Monday feels like Saturday. You can go 3-4 days without talking to another person. That's when loneliness gets you. Not because you're alone, because you have no structure. Here's my week. Monday is library day. Tuesday is grocery shopping, every Tuesday, same time. Wednesday I volunteer. Thursday is lunch at the center. Friday I call my daughter at 2 p.m., same time every week. Saturday I do laundry at the laundromat, not here at home because there are people there. Sunday I watch church on TV and call my son at 10 a.m. his time, every single week. Same schedule. This does 2 things, Gives me something to look forward to, and it gets me out around people regularly. You need appointments with life. Put them on your calendar. Treat them like doctor visits. Because they are medicine. Eleanor didn't have a schedule. She just drifted, day after day, same empty routine, and she drifted right into depression. Fourth, accept that some things are over. We had coffee every week for decades. 2 of them are dead. The third one has Alzheimer's, doesn't know who I am. For a year I tried to find new friends just like them. I wanted somebody who knew my whole history, who remembered my stories, who knew Robert. It didn't work. You can't recreate 40 years of friendship. It's done. Gone. So I changed what I was looking for. Now I have friendly acquaintances. The women I sit with at lunch, we talk for an hour twice a week. That's enough. The librarian I work with, we chat about books and the weather. That's enough. Stop trying to replace what you lost. Build something different instead. Shallow connections are better than no connections. That's the truth. Fifth, do something useful. Here's what nobody tells you. When you have nothing to do, you sit and think about everybody who's not there anymore. I volunteer 4 hours a week at the library. Not much. But when I'm putting books away, I'm not thinking about being alone. I'm thinking about whether this book goes in fiction or mystery. Do something where somebody needs you. Volunteer. Help a neighbor. Tutor kids, something with a small responsibility. This gets you out of your own head, and it makes you feel needed. Feeling needed is the opposite of feeling lonely. Dorothy never did anything useful after she retired. Just watched TV all day, and all day she thought about how nobody needed her anymore. She was right, because she didn't make herself needed. Sixth, learn to be comfortable with yourself. Most people don't know how to be alone. They spent their whole lives surrounded by people, husband, kids, co-workers. Then suddenly they're alone and they panic. I had to learn this. At first I kept the TV on all day just for the noise, couldn't stand the quiet. Now I like it. I sit on my porch in the morning with coffee and watch the birds. No TV, no radio, just me. I talk to myself now. Out loud. Margaret, you need to water those plants. That was a good dinner you made. Sounds crazy, but it works. Read books, do puzzles, cook real meals for yourself, not frozen dinners. Treat yourself like you matter. If you can't stand being alone with yourself, no amount of socializing will fix you. Seventh, stay part of the world. I don't have a computer. I don't text. My phone makes calls, that's it. But I stay connected. I read the newspaper every day. I watch the news. When I talk to people, I can have actual conversations about real things, not just my aches and pains. I also keep myself up. I get dressed every morning like I'm going somewhere, even if I'm not. I put on lipstick. I comb my hair. Self-respect. When you look like you're part of the world, you feel like you're part of the world. And I keep my house clean. Not perfect, but clean. When everything around you falls apart, you fall apart too. Look, I'm 87 years old. I live alone in this house. Some days are hard. Some nights I wish Robert was still here to watch Jeopardy with me. But I'm not lonely. I have my schedule. I have my small connections. I have things to do. I learn to be good company for myself. Dorothy and Eleanor had the same circumstances I did. Same age, same situation. The difference was choices. Every day, small choices that added up. Stop waiting. Talk to people. Make a schedule. Let go of what's gone. Be useful. Be comfortable alone. Stay connected. It's not complicated. People want some trick, some secret. There isn't one. There's just doing the work every day. Living alone doesn't mean living lonely. It just means living differently. After Robert died, a lot of people expected me to just give up. Sell the house, move in with my kids, wait to die, please. I've got things to do. I've got books